Oscar winner and queen of feel-good flicks. Goldie Hawn is America's sweetheart. However, a lady yearning for authenticity lay beneath the surface of her laughter. Her first two marriages didn't work out. She was crushed emotionally. With the same glimmer in her eye, she persisted. At 79 years old, though, Goldie is revealing more than ever before about the one man who, according to her, saw her for who she really is. She could never have felt that way about anyone else. No, it's not the one most people were hoping for. Come explore her life and the love tale that has endured for decades with us. A natural performer. Washington, D.C. is the site of Goldie Hawn's birth. Laura, her mother, was the owner of a dancing studio and a jewelry store. Edward Hawn was a conductor and musician, her father. His family tree included the youngest signer of the Declaration of Independence, Edward Rutledge, and he himself had German and English ancestry. Her mother's family was Jewish and had emigrated from Hungary. In Tacoma Park, Maryland, Goldie's family was Jewish. Patty was her only sibling. Edward Jr., the girl's brother, passed away when he was a baby, long before Patty was born. The girls had no idea. At the tender age of 3, Goldie began her dance career. Because of her innate talent, she studied ballet and tap dancing. She made her ballet debut with the Rousseau de Monte Carlo in The Nutcracker when she was 10 years old. And that was just the start. Goldie was already directing her ballet school and acting in Romeo and Juliet by 1964. She was majoring in theater in college when she dropped out. Can, performed at the New York World's Fair in the Texas Pavilion, was her professional dance debut. Her career as a go-go dancer began shortly thereafter, taking her all across New Jersey and New York City. However, Hollywood took notice of her quickly. This is her breakthrough. When Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In came on in 1968, Goldie's TV career took off. Her infectious laugh, humorous antics, and cheerful demeanor won her many admirers. She became one of TV's most beloved faces in no time. In the very same year, she landed a bit part in the one and only real original family band flick. However, everything changed when she played the lead in the 1969 film Cactus Flower. For her work as a supporting actress, she was nominated for both the Oscar and the Golden Globe. Goldie was more than just an attractive woman. She possessed genuine talent. She continued her impressive career with leading roles in popular films such as Private Benjamin, Foul Play, There's a Girl in My Soup, Butterflies Are Free, The Sugarland Express, Shampoo, and Seems Like Old Times. Actually, she was nominated for Best Actress at the Academy Awards for Private Benjamin. Goldie continued to make guest appearances on subsequent hits throughout the following years. Overboard, Death Becomes Her, The First Wives Club, and The Christmas Chronicles were just a few of her comedic credits that demonstrated her ability to entertain audiences of all ages. Although her professional life appeared flawless on the outside, her private life was far from it. The one and only love that faded away. Goldie was in a few relationships before stardom came knocking. Actor Mark Goddard was a romantic partner of hers. She was in a relationship with singer Spiro Vendoris as well. However, her romance with Gus Triconis was the first of its kind. The West Side Story cast included the actor and dancer Gus. While they were both performing in the late 60s, Goldie met him. She had previously stated that she felt an immediate desire to marry him. They tied the knot in May 1969 in Hawaii. However, changes began to take place. Battled for employment as Goldie's career took off. They were experiencing divergent life trajectories. Even though Goldie had become a rising sensation in Hollywood, Gus still felt left out. They gradually become further separated. Their marriage ended in 1973. It wasn't until 1975 New Year's Eve that Goldie officially filed for a divorce. She had already found love and become engaged again by that point. She remarried within weeks of finalizing her divorce from Gus in June 1976. More suffering results with a second opportunity. Bill Hudson, one half of the Hudson brothers, was an actor and singer, and Goldie's second husband. While en route from New York City to Los Angeles, they crossed paths in first class. They established a quick bond. They tied the knot in Goldie's hometown on July 3, 1976. Their offspring included Oliver and Kate. They would both achieve great success in the acting world. The marriage, however, was short-lived. In 1980, Bill decided to end his marriage. He admitted afterwards that he had reservations right away. He described feeling like the luckiest man alive on their wedding day. But then Goldie knelt down and said, "Are you certain we made the correct decision?" He couldn't shake that feeling. Bill said he was completely devoted and prepared to start a family. He insisted, however, that Goldie and he were in disagreement. He claimed she didn't share his belief in traditional marriage and yearned for greater independence. Things worsened significantly following the divorce. When it came to raising children, Bill and Goldie couldn't agree on much. As far as Bill was concerned, he was cut off from his children's lives. The two ex-husbands of Goldie had numerous heated conversations over the years. The moment Goldie became famous, Gus Triconis claimed she changed. He thought she had walked away from their marriage because of her achievements. He further asserted that she began associating with famous people like Jack Nicholson and Barbra Streisand, and that her conduct subsequently became erratic and peculiar. Bill Hudson, in contrast, was as forthright. According to him, Goldie put on a show for the public, but was actually quite manipulative, nasty, and self-centered. Her portrayal of their relationship was likewise one with which he strongly disagreed. He had the impression that she didn't share his desire for a strong, close-knit family. That they were an open marriage was an idea with which he vehemently disagreed. That was never something he consented to, in his opinion. The loss of his children seemed to be Bill's greatest source of suffering. The fact that he fell short of being the ideal father devastated him. He carried the scars of that experience for a long time. Though she was Hollywood's golden girl on screen, Goldie Hawn suffered from depression, anxiety, and disappointment in real life. She was in 2 unhappy marriages, and the resentment and animosity among her ex-husbands persisted even after they signed the divorce papers. Nevertheless, Goldie persevered and eventually found a way to succeed, despite the many obstacles she faced. As a parent, she was invaluable. She used her foundation to give back, and in due time, she let her guard down once more. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's initial encounter. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn crossed paths for the first time in 1966. True original family band, The One and Only, was being filmed. Kurt was 16 years old, and Goldie was 21 years old. Goldie recalled liking him immediately, despite the age difference. As she put it in 2012, she thought he was cute. Unfortunately, that was a long time ago. They weren't interested in dating other actors because they were both young. As a result, their initial encounter is now nothing more than a pleasant memory. Unbeknownst to them, that memory would reawaken 17 years down the road. Everything would be altered this time. Goldie and Kurt crossed paths once more in 1983. This time, it happened at Kurt's swing shift film audition. When that happened, things started to shift. Kurt was not feeling well after a night on the town the night before. He felt anxious and hungover. He uttered the first thought that crossed his thoughts as soon as Goldie entered. "Dude, you've got a fantastic figure," he remarked. Goldie smiled and politely expressed her gratitude, preventing the situation from going horribly wrong. In that instant, the ice was broken. Their first date, which, needless to say, was anything but ordinary was shortly after. As the evening commenced, they danced to swing music at the Playboy Club. They visited the home that Goldie had recently purchased later on. They broke in because she hadn't gotten the keys yet. I agree with that. They broke into her house on their first date. They found themselves in the made-up bedroom while exploring the vacant rooms. After that, the stakes were raised. Unfortunately, the cops showed up before they could savor the occasion. Because of this, they had to check into a hotel for the night. Our first date, according to Kurt, was that. I had a blast doing it. Their relationship took off after that wild night. Authentically falling for someone. Swing shift filming allowed Goldie and Kurt more quality time together. The sentiments intensified at that point. According to Goldie, Kurt had great, beautiful looks, but his honesty was the most striking quality. She confided in him that he was unassuming. Without even looking, I could tell he had no interest in women. How he handled her kids, though, was the thing that really moved her. Oliver and Kate, Goldie's children from a prior marriage to Bill Hudson, were already in their teens. Once in a while, she would bring them to the set so she could see how Kurt handled them. According to her, it was while watching her children that things hit home. Together, they were incredible. He had no trouble at all. After a while, it became more than a romance.